Karissa Adkins!
Yeah! Thank you. You know what? Damn, right? Come on. That's amazing. He just met me at the back of the room, and he said, tell me a little something about you. And I was like, well, how did I get here? And he said, yeah, how did you get here? I said, well, I took a plane from the UK. He said, no, how did you get here? And today I'm going to tell you about the decision that I made to get here. Would that be okay? And thank you, I love energy. And so yeah, the more you hear something awesome, I want you to give me like a big hell yes, or like we want the whole main room over there to realize that they actually wanted to be in this room. Okay, all right, cool. Yes, all right, I love that. I gotta be careful because sometimes these fly off. Watch out, front row, catch them. All right, so today we're gonna talk about decisions and sales. And the average entrepreneur makes about 35,000 decisions every single day. I mean, think about it. You wake up, what should I wear? What am I gonna eat? Should I go to the gym, should I not? Who should I DM? How am I gonna lead my team? When should I launch? It's decision after decision after decision. And Tony Robbins said that it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Not in the algorithms, not in the hustle and the grind, but in the decisions. So here's the truth. Most entrepreneurs are not making powerful, aligned decisions. They're making people-pleasing, fear-based decisions, right? I mean, we make a lot of things out of, am I ready for this? I want to, speak on a stage, but I don't know, right? We make a lot of decisions based on what others will think of us or what we will think of us. And a lot of them are just panic and fear-based decisions. So today I'm going to talk to you about decisions and how they're so important, okay? Now, Lord knows I've made my fair share of shitty decisions, right? Yes, I love it. We can all admit we've made some not so good ones, right? But I have made some pretty amazing decisions as well. I want to tell you about some of those moments. Although they did not define me, they actually created the business entrepreneur that you see here today. And I don't know who introduced me. It was phenomenal. But, he got it right. Because if I can do it, any of you can do it. And I'm going to share my journey with you. But some of those decisions, like I said, they were bold and risky. And I wasn't quite ready to move into those decisions. But I made a simple decision. Like the decision at 15 years old to keep and raise my baby. I was a sophomore in high school, working full-time, trying to go to school, raising a son all on my own. That was a big decision, right? When everyone said, go this way, I went this way. Or the decision to leave an abusive relationship, mentally, physically, sexually, right? That decision led to courageous moments. I found out what I was made of to be able to leave that man. And then there was the decision, right, in 2011 to get healthy. I had lost my way, lost over close to 100 pounds. One of the best damn decisions that I could have ever made was recommitting to my health and my body, okay? Or the decision to just say, screw it, I'm gonna start my own tuxedo suit and cigar shop. I don't even know what I need to do. I'm gonna Google my way through that, which I did. It was pretty awesome. Or the decision to leave that profitable business and go to work in corporate for somebody else, doing sales and marketing. And I absolutely loved that job. I mean, I was like, shit, people get paid for this? Like, I just get to build, relationships and talk to people. I was like, this is the easiest job ever. I loved it. So leaving corporate to pursue my passion was really hard, okay? So today I want to tell you about the decision that got me here today. And in order to do that, I want to take you back to 2019. Because in 2019, I was working full-time in corporate sales and marketing. Again, loved it, right? But I was also coaching part-time. I was learning how to become a certified coach, all right? So I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I've got full-time job, I am coaching on the side, I'm learning coaching, all of it. But I always thought coaching was going to be like my side gig or my husband's retirement. Like when he goes into retirement, I'll just start then. Like I would have been crazy, absolutely crazy to leave that. And everyone told me, Karissa, you've got it so good here. 6 figures, a company car, a credit card, like everything that you could ever want. I was literally check, 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 checking the boxes. And it was easy. But there was a moment that I was like, I think I'm meant for more. In fact, I know I'm meant for more because I was capped. HR, marketing, sales, like there was no other way to go in corporate besides when the owner came up to me and said, Karissa, so like, what are your thoughts? You want to kind of like buy in? And I was like, hell no, I hate collision. He's like, you're so good at it. I'm like, I'm good with people, right? I'm good with sales. I'm good with people. So that was 2019. I was on stage, right there in that rock star moment, right? It's like 800 people in the room, scared to death. It was one of my very first stages. I was teaching sales and marketing strategies. And right there in that moment, I was like, God, this is what I'm meant to do. Because your purpose just finds you. I didn't know what I needed to do. It just found me. The biggest thing is that I made a decision to follow that purpose, that heart, okay? So yeah, that was my meant for more moment when I knew it. And at first, everything was going good. I had clients. I was like, oh shit, this is amazing, right? And then it was all good until it wasn't. 6 months later, I was filing for divorce after a 15-year marriage, right? 3 months after that, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. And then 2 months after that, the client roster was gone. And so was the bank account that I'd saved. So I was like, damn. It's like triple, right? We've all heard like it comes in like triples, like how much more? Good. But it wasn't until my best friend said, Karissa, I believe in you, and I believe in your dream, and I don't want to see you go back to corporate. So I'm going to let you move in. You can bring your kids. And then I moved into her basement, and I shared a 10 by 10 room with my daughter. My son was on the couch because I knew I was meant for more. I believed in myself more than anybody else. But the real rock bottom moment came when I got done with a sales call. And raise your hand if you've ever had one of these. Oh my God, I absolutely love your program. I know it's going to like be the thing for me, but I just can't afford it. The fuck? Like, we just spent 40 minutes together. Are you crazy, right? Like, you just agreed that you need this. But I remember at that moment, shutting my laptop as the tears started rolling down my face because that little girl needed a mom who could provide for her. And that was a tough moment. So right there in that moment, right, I'm sitting on a bed and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I suck at this. Right, that itty-bitty shitty committee started to like really run the show. I mean, I might as well give it in a microphone. It was singing. But right there in that moment, I had 2 choices to make. Karissa, go back to corporate, move out of the basement, provide, make it easy, or you can keep pushing on. And I'm telling you, thank God, I would not be a 7-figure earner today in 5 years had I given up on that dream, okay? So when I say if I can do it, you can do it, single mama, quit high school, no college degree. I can do it, you can do it, okay? Everyone say that, I can do it, you can do it? All right, cool. Yes, all right. So it was right there in that moment that I was like, okay, right? I wiped the tears. I gave myself a pep talk. I was really good at that after like constantly like getting hit, and you got to be your own cheerleader, right? So I gave myself this pep talk, and I was like, screw it. Everyone's told me to build a business a certain way. I'm going to finally build the business that I want to build. Forget what everyone else is saying. And right there in that moment, I mapped out my vision, my sales process, my clients, who I wanted to work with. I had no idea that I was mapping out the $1 million sales matrix. Remember when Travis said you need a method, a proven methodology on how you get clients results? This is what I do. And this is what I am damn good at, is getting results for clients. And in fact, I'm kind of obsessed with it. Ask my husband, I will not sleep at night if I've got a client who's not, doing what they need to do. So anyways, this is the beginning of the $1 Million Sales Matrix. It's a step-by-step system for turning your message into gold without burnout, because I am a big believer that at what cost are you willing to make that money on? I will no longer sacrifice my body, my health, my relationships, because I saw where that road took me, okay? So I want to break down that matrix for you guys. I'm not going to go over this too much, but from that moment on, guys, everything turned around, right? I stopped chasing and I started converting. I stopped winging it and I built real systems for growth. And within 7 months, after that broken down freaking moment, I finally was profitable. Within 3 years, it was multi-six figures. $176,000 a week feels almost impossible for a broke-ass girl from Nebraska. So if I can do it, you can do it. So here's what I want you to hear. Write this down. I'm a big believer that money makers are writer-downers. And if you didn't come with a pen and paper, that's your own bad. All right, so here's what I want you to hear. Success doesn't happen by luck. It happens when you lead yourself like a CEO. All right? So yes, if you don't remember my name is Karissa Adkins. I'm the CEO and founder of a global coaching company called the Alpha Queen Collective. I am a global humanitarian. I'm a creator. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. Okay? But I'm the creator of the $1 Million Sales Matrix, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We help our clients create consistent cash flow. We help them book more sales calls because that's what we need. We need cash. We need sales calls. We need leads. That's what we're going to talk about today. So the 5 core pillars of the matrix comes down to a couple of things. I'm going to get to them. But on your piece of paper, I want everyone to write down on the left side of your paper what number that currently represents you and your business today. Is it the number that you make a month? Maybe it's a number that you are currently at, if you know your numbers. Right? Maybe it's a number that represents how many clients you have. Where are you at today? Okay? Everyone got their paper? Or their number at least? Because in 2019, when I left corporate, I only made $10,000, not a month, in my first year in business, less than minimum wage, okay? Now, the other number I want you to write down on the other side of your paper is the number you want to be 12 months from now. Where do you want to be? I told you, we're talking sales, guys. Sales don't happen when you don't know your numbers. So you got to know. So everyone's got their 2 numbers. Put the number 2 in the hands. Put your 2 hands up. Hopefully you got them. Thank you. All right, cool. Thank you. So now I want you to draw a line from one number to the other, from left to right, because this is going to be the bridge. This is, remember they were saying in there, the gap. You have to recognize as the head of your company what you're good at and what you should no longer be doing and what you actually need training on. But this is the gap. And the $1 Million Sales Matrix, step by step, fills in the gap. So let's dive in. All right, pillar number 1. Hopefully you guys can see that. Pillar number 1 comes down to what I call quantum energetics. This is where your identity matters. This is where your mindset matters. This is your belief system, your thought processes. This is so incredibly important when it comes to leading your business. Whether it's sales, marketing, branding, doesn't matter. If this is not on lockdown, you will constantly be fighting an uphill battle. You have to work on the inner game. But most importantly, the big jump from 150 to 200K in my business to at least 550 was the day I decided to create a new identity for myself. You see, I was showing up as just the coach. Right? There's the coach, then there's the CEO, then there's the investor, and then there's the movement maker. I very quickly, when I learned the evolution of an entrepreneur, I very quickly was like, holy shit, I want to be a movement maker. That's what I am really meant for. So I was like, okay, who do I gotta be? Who do I gotta be in order for me to get there? Because when you're that, and you just show up as that, the authentic version of you who's already killing it, it's so easy for you to live your best life that way. You already believe that you're them. And at the time, I was like, I want to be a 7-figure earner. What does a 7-figure earner do? How does a 7-figure earner make decisions? I created the identity. It's kind of like Sasha Fierce and Beyonce. It's like Wonder Woman, right? We all have these identities that when it's time to save the world, we quickly, rip our clothes off and, come into some fancy outfit, right? It's an identity. And I talk so much about this because everything else in the matrix you will not be able to do it unless the inner game is locked down. Okay? I mean, all the strategy in the world cannot get you where you want to go if your brain, your thoughts, your identity aren't right. And let me tell you, every new level of business will come with a new devil to slay. Okay? All right. Then we have magnetic branding, right? So we help our clients build their message, their brand, their methodology, and their core high-ticket sexy offer. That's all branding, in my opinion. Okay? These are the steps. Because at the time, I was trying to do everything, and it really wasn't working. I was burning myself out. So when I got very clear, I was like, Karissa, what do you actually have to do to make $100,000? Oh, I just need to simplify everything, right? Less is more. All right, so then comes premium lead gen. Can we all agree that if you don't have leads coming into your business every single day, you do not have consistent sales? We know, okay, if you don't and you're a brand new entrepreneur, we need leads, right? But not any leads. I'm not talking about the people that hop into your newsletters. I'm not talking about the people who are like, oh my God, you're amazing, can you sign my book? I'm talking about aligned buyers, people who are literally drawn to you, people who are ready. They know they have a problem and you have the solution. They're like, let's come together like peanut butter and jelly. Premium leads. We teach our clients where to find them, how to attract them. We love, of course, teaching people how to speak from stage, social media, and then we give them one other platform they can choose from. Then we have the cash catalysts. Now, in my opinion, you can have the biggest heart and the biggest passion in the world, but if you cannot sell yourself, you cannot make money. You have to get very crystal clear on a sales system. We literally teach them that. Because when you have a sales system on lock, step by step, you know how to move a lead from, hi, my name is Karissa, all the way to hot, warm, ready to go. Here's my credit card. I love your product. Right? You need a system that you can walk people through. Step by step, step by step. You don't alternate from a different plan. I know exactly how to take a very cold lead in a matter of 2 or 3 hours and get them on a sales call. Okay? So we teach you everything there is to know about sales. Love it. Sales are sexy. I wish everyone say that. Sales are sexy.
Sales are sexy.
Louder.
Sales are sexy.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I'm all fired up. Sales are sexy. Okay. So then the fifth and final piece is what I call the GSD protocols. GSD stands for get shit done. All right? There's nothing fancy about it, right? So when we talk about getting stuff done, it does require schedules, it does require systems, and it does require processes. Okay? So we're going to dive into it a little bit more. So now that you know the power moves, right? The matrix, that's the order. That's all you have to do. Okay? Find your brand, figure out your brand, know where your leads are coming from, know how to sell to them, get your shit organized. You've got to get yourself organized. Okay, so now that we know that, I want to talk about the 3 biggest sales problems that are keeping so many entrepreneurs stuck today. And more importantly, what to do about them. Okay? All right. So, problem number 1 is no leads equals no sales. This is what I call the pipeline problem you just cannot afford to ignore. All right, so when it comes to problems, there are 2 major problems in lead generation. Number 1 is no pipeline. You don't have a list of aligned, ready-to-go buyers. You don't know who's cold, you don't know who's warm, you don't know who's hot. You're just like, hey, I put my piece of content out there. Why aren't anyone coming? No. You have to be able to put people, make a curated list of names that you are going to commit to and nurture and build trust with until they buy. Okay? So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is a leaky pipeline. A leaky pipe. This is for the entrepreneurs like, I got leads everywhere. Oh my God, I can't even keep track of them anymore. Right? I spoke on a stage. I got 30 leads here. I spoke over there. I got 20 new leads here. People are into my opt-ins, right? Like, you have so many leads, they're leaking like crazy. Therefore, you're missing sales conversations. You're missing the buying behavior patterns of some of your hottest leads because they're leaking out. So what do? Power move number 1, write this down, is you need a hot ATM list. You absolutely need a list of aligned buyers. I'm not talking about your CRM, and I am definitely not talking about an email newsletter. Because, as you know, everyone opts into your stuff, and they're not necessarily your single perfect buyer. They're not your $1 million client, right? So I think you need to build a list of leads that you can nurture and build trust with, 100% all day long. Quick mini story. In August, I woke up to an email from Meta. Meta said, I'm shutting you down. Facebook and Instagram, gone. No warning, no nothing. Now, for a woman who's built over a $500,000 business using her voice on a stage and Facebook, I was like, holy shit, what happened? What did I do, right? And the average entrepreneur would probably panic and make a lot of fear-based decisions. What am I supposed to do? Like, that was where all my business was built, right? Like, they would make those types of decisions, and it would lead them to panic. But I'm not your average entrepreneur. What did I do? I said, great, we're moving from Meta over to LinkedIn. And then I slacked my team, and I said, team, everyone take 200 names on that list, and I want you to work them. 3 days later is all it took to get back up to $33,000 cash days. You need a list. You absolutely need a list of people you can nurture. All right, so that was that. All right, problem number 2 in sales is sales calls. Specifically, the sales calls that suck your energy dry. All right, so again, 2 major problems when it comes to sales calls is you're hopping on calls with unqualified buyers. This is the full of hesitation, all the excuses, I can't afford this, all that stuff, right? So you either have that problem, or the opposite problem is that you don't even know how to get people on sales calls. Okay? 2 major problems, can we agree? I mean, objection after objection on sales calls literally drains your bank account, your energy, and your confidence. Eventually, you're like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. You are on the wrong, you are on calls with the wrong people. So what do? Power move number 1. This could be a couple of things. This is why I put it in here. So number 1 is if you're attracting all the wrong people, you need to lock in your copy. All right? Because if you're seriously saying, hey, broke-ass coach, I can help you, and then you're like, why am I hopping on calls with all these broke-ass coaches? Well, you literally called them in. Talk to your next level buyer. So when you upgrade your identity, guys, you start attracting those types of people. That's that frequency, that energetic piece. Okay? Number 2 is you need an authentic DM process, like literally a sequence. And what I love about what I give my clients is like it's a sequence of multiple messages, plug and play, and you move the lead, right? And what I mean by that is like you have to first get proximity. Sales with proximity is key. But you've got to start to move the lead. The minute the lead stops moving, they are dead. You have to rebuild them back from the beginning and then go back to to where you were at. So you have to be able to move the lead. So you need to put your big girl panties on, and guys, you got to get with it, but you've got to know how to take that conversation in a DM, and you've got to learn how to convert it into a sales call. Thank you. Or there's 3, is to check yourself, right? If you're someone who's like, oh, I hate sales calls, or God, I hate when people pitch me in the DMs, that's your own shit, and that's what you're attracting. Okay? So you've got 1 or all 3, but either way, that's your solution for that. All right, so I'm not going to have time to roll into this one, although it's my favorite. So really quickly, the problem here is that you're showing up every day in your business literally winging it. You would not believe how many entrepreneurs I get on the call with, and they're like, I'm like, well, what's your day-to-day schedule look like? And they're like, I probably open up my Facebook DMs, and then I make my posts, and then I'm over here, and then I'm like folding laundry, and then all of a sudden I'm on Amazon shopping for shoes. And I'm like, holy shit, you fell into someone else's marketing plan. Congrats, right? So you got to stop winging it. So the solution here is to lock in your calendar. What I teach my clients how to do is there's those GSD protocols, right? 5 power hours. The one specifically, I know you cannot read it, it's my make it rain cash money time. 90 minutes dedicated to activities that move the needle forward on conversations to sales calls. My clients know exactly what to do during those hours, every one of those hours, right? You're thinking too much about who should I DM, who's my next lead, how am I gonna get the lead? The average entrepreneur spends 15 to 20 hours per week thinking. per week, that's a part-time job. No wonder you're broke, right? Like you're spending so much time thinking about what to do. When in fact, you need to know, what am I doing? When you are this aligned and intentional with your time, you get shit done. You collapse time. So let me leave you with this. That end of the story, I can't leave you in open-ended, right? So now I wake up to Stripe DM notifications. Ding, ding, ding. I wake up to Voxer messages every freaking day from all of my clients. I just had a 5K kill. I just had a $10,000 sale. I just negotiated another $30,000. That's the real ROI. The return on impact is incredible. That's why I do what I do. So I wake up to messages like that. And it's not just me, y'all. Right? Michelle, she went from 0 to 8,500. Sarah in the middle went to $15,000 client. Leslie, I remember the Voxer that came through, $33,000 a month, my best month ever. Guys, we're not unicorns. We are coaches and entrepreneurs just like you and I. They've just decided to start making smarter decisions. So listen, you're going to go home tomorrow, and you're going to make 35,000 decisions again every single day. And in my experience, I see leaders on 3 paths. Path number 1 is a year from now, they're still making the same damn decisions, wishing, hoping, and praying that things get better for them. Path number 2, they've gone backwards on the success scale. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Poor health, their relationships are on the verge of divorce, their business is in shambles, their money is gone, right? Or there's path number 3. You've now learned how to make aligned business decisions that take you to the next level. So listen, I'm going to leave you with this, okay? I've created a program called Cash Flow Codes. It's a simple, repeatable sales system and coaching program that turns conversations into consistent cash. This is where CEOs learn to master sales and marketing, and of course, the mindset to get you there. I can't get it much cheaper than that, y'all. This is not a funnel. This is not a lead magnet. This is a damn decision. A decision to say, you know what, I am tired of struggling. I am tired of doing the same things and getting the same result. Say, no, there's no contract. It's month to month. Come in for 30 days. If you don't get a result, great, leave, right? It's a simple decision. Lead yourself like a CEO, and you will make money. So I just want to remind you, you don't need anyone's permission to step into greatness. I'm giving that to you if you're needing it. You don't need another freebie or another funnel. Lord knows you probably downloaded 10 of them today. You just need to make a simple damn decision. Okay? Decide like a CEO, sell like a millionaire, and you will do fine. All right, you guys, you have my cards on your chair. There's QR codes there, and I am on the panelists a little bit later. So bring your questions and meet me in the hallway if you have any more. Bye-bye, guys. Woo!